I got him on. Now we good. You got it? All right, we good. But peace. But yeah, but the Holy Quran is the highest authority known to the holy laws among the earth because it's based on the essence of divine law given from the prophet through his father, God Allah. And this is the holy book where the Moorish Science Temple of America, I ain't talking about nothing else, family. I'm talking about Moorish Science Temple of America, derived this power and authority from, according to the said affidavit of organization. Learn from the divine instruction of the Holy Prophet Drew Ali on how to conduct your lifestyle in a way that the lower self can be circumscribed and the higher self perfected. There are rules and usages of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and these rules will consist of the Moorish divine constitution and bylaws, Moors. Come on now, y'all got to agree if you're a Moor. We supposed to study this. Come on. I'm not making nothing up here. Book of Humanity, the Holy Quran, Circle 7, etc. Every statement issued by the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, to the Moorish American should be honored in spirit along that narrow path that we are to walk, family, because he is an angel sent to bring us everlasting gospel. You know, a rule is an establishment, a standard, a guide, or a regulation, a principle or a regulation set up by authority, prescribing or directing action or forbearance as the rules of a legislative body, of a company, a court, a public office, of the laws of ethics. Are you following me, Moors? The 5 principles that we stand on are what? Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Uphold these principles to the best of your advantage, Moors, because by living by these principles, you are in accordance with the holy and divine laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We do not choose to live by hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, and theft. Now that we know the rules of this state, family, let's now go in the customs and usages. Customs and usages are defined as, and I quote, a usage or practice of the people by common acquaintances, meaning we have something in common, and by long and varying habit, has become compulsory and has acquired the force of a law within respect to the place or subject matter to which it relates. So, Moors, Moabites, empresses, the question is, what do members of the Moorish Science Temple of America have as far as customs? The customs that we have are what we practice, of course, Moors. These are the 5 highest principles that we practice daily, which are love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. The Moorish American prayer is a custom at the opening and closing of the Circle 7 meetings, right, Moors? Celebrating the Holy Prophet's birthday, January 8th, and our Authority Day on July 20th each year are also customs, right, Moors? Simply wearing a Moorish fez or turban are customs. We have to honor our foremothers and forefathers, right, Moors? These are customs. Teaching our people that they are not Negroes, black, colored folks, or Ethiopians is also a custom and method of uplifting, right, Moors? Somebody talk to me. I talk back. Another custom is flying our national flag on the land of our ancestors, which is known as the Moorish flag and has been flown in our land for over 50,000 years, Moors. But currently, the Moroccans in the Moroccan kingdom have falsely adopted our flag and has caused us a great damage. The Moroccan flag has been seen by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali since the 1920s, and the present Moroccan kingdom in Northeast Africa today have falsely adopted our flag in the year 1956. But I want to show y'all something. Let me see. Man, what do I let me see, do I got this picture? I want to show y'all something where you got this, where I be challenging brothers to think. Oh, I hope I still now when I say when you always listen to westernized pseudo academia and Europeans, and we don't listen to scholars and studies your brothers that did to work, that's sad. I'm gonna show you something. Simple research. Israel, the Americas created their state, country, whatever you want to call it, in 1948. That's when they adopted our signs and symbols. I'm going to show you something from 1929 in Harlem. I'm going to show you the Moorish Zionist temple of the Moorish Jews. Look in the back of the picture. What do you see? My finger right there. What do you see? What do you see? And a flag. And what star do you see? This is 1928. So when I be telling brothers, you quoting all this stuff from Europeans, that's pseudo academia. Look. Just before Israel would create out the state, country, whatever you want to call it, we had this stuff. Look. So we build bridges, man. We are a people. That's what I challenge my brother. We are a people. Stop playing. So, as where we were at, teaching our people that they are not Negro. Okay, another custom is flying our flag. I said that, blah, blah, blah. The Moroccan flag, blah, blah, blah. There are many other customs adopted as well that we take to heart along with our royal heritage. What? Study, 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 family. And more, we said, when Overdraw Ali didn't tell you to study, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Brothers that be telling you don't study, these brothers, they be telling you to study because as you study, you're going to ask questions. And it's going to reveal the lie. It's going to reveal they don't know a damn thing. So I challenge you to study, 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 ask questions. Somebody saying they should be able to say, no, I don't know, but let me get into contact with the person that I know to lead you the right way. Because these brothers acting like we ain't all one, they're lying. We are all one. We are all one, man. This is crazy. Don't you know the Europeans, the power of that be, they laughing at y'all Negroes arguing. I don't care, Hebrew Israelites, Moors with feathers on. I don't care if you call them conscious community. Y'all, it's laughable. Laughable. That ain't what this about. That ain't what this about, man. I don't debate nobody. This is for my family. This is for us. Covenant and oath of the holy state. When we look back at the definition of body politic, we realize that there are important actions that citizens, nationals, and subjects are to make a custom with themselves. And one action that I speak of is known as what? Covenanting. A covenant. Follow me, Moorish. Y'all got to research. I mean, what we doing? We ain't here to be arguing with each other. We're here to build a nation. A covenant of a citizen is an agreement or promise of two or more parties by deed in writing, signed and delivered, by which either of the parties pledge himself to the other that something is either done or shall be done or shall not be done or shall stipulate from the truth of certain facts. What I'm saying? Let's stop right there. Watch this. As Moorish Americans here in the Maximum, now commonly known as America, under the divine leadership of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we are to attend to covenants, which means put in place under the body politic. There is but one covenant for the unity of the Asiatic race. The Asiatic race. Not no one people. Talk about you the chosen one. Who said? The Bible? You got to be crazy. This covenant is known as a holy covenant of the Asiatic nations. This is a reference to chapter 25 of the Holy Quran, circle 7 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Right, Moors? This holy booklet was divinely prepared by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So when you covenant through the holy covenant of the Asiatic nation, you covenant with the whole people. The whole people covenant with you, Moors. To covenant is to make a pledge. Pledge has a broad definition, but in its context, the main focus for now is that it is a promise or an agreement by which one binds him or herself to do or forbears himself or herself to do or forbear something The promise or agreement are the conditions of the pledge itself, Moors. When thinking about the U.S. citizenship, I personally used to wonder why the 14th Amendment citizens pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Watch this. Unfortunately, U.S. citizens think that being born here makes you a citizen. Not true. U.S. citizens are naturalized, but not nationalized. I say this again. I say you don't have to agree with nothing I say. I challenge you to research. If I'm wrong, we can study and do research together, because we in school. Let me say it again. U.S. citizens think that being born here makes you a citizen. It's not true. U.S. citizens are naturalized, but not nationalized. We are more nationals. I'm telling you, I'm going to show you this. You got to remember what I say about citizen and nationalized. There is a big difference, and I will go further into the later on in this pamphlet as I'm giving to you, as we're studying, because that's what we're doing. We're studying. You should have your pens and your paper, write things down. Because if this is your first time hearing this, you have to write this down. We in school. The lawfully, or to lawfully be a subject or citizen of any form of government, depending on the rules and customs of that society, under its constitution and government, one must subscribe and take an oath to its constitution and government. What you mean? An oath. An oath. I just gave it to you. An oath. Where are we at? Let me see. I'm about to let me show you something. That's the birth. That's my baptism paper. Let me show you. We got it always. Here we go. Moors. This is part of our paperwork. An oath. The amnesty oath. So you ain't got, like I said, you ain't got to listen to me. You do what you want. So where were we? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go dependent on the rules of the car. One will describe and take an oath to its constitution and government. This goes for proclaimed Moorish Americans as well. Did you hear me? I just showed you. The amnesty oath. This goes for proclaimed Moorish Americans as well. So why wouldn't you want to go to get nationalized through the Moorish Science Temple of America? And I just read to you the law of not only for Moors and for everybody else. You must take an oath. The amnesty oath. You must take your oath. Here it go. I, Kareem Goodman Bey, do solemnly affirm in the presence of Almighty God that I will henceforth faithfully support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the United States thereunder, and that I will, in like manner, abide by and faithfully support all acts of Congress passed during the existing rebellion with reference to slaves, so far as not repealed, modified, or held void by Congress or by decision of the Supreme Court, and that I will, in like manner, abide by and faithfully support all proclamations of the President made during the existing rebellion having reference to slaves so far as not modified or declared void by the decision of the Supreme Court. So help me God. Come on, man. What are we arguing about, Moors? What's the argument? That's that crab in the bucket. We got to stop that mess, man. I'm coming with supreme wisdom, and we playing. We can build this nation. What we waiting for? An executive order issued by President Abraham Lincoln in 1865. You are a true American citizen. This oath is to be subscribed by a Grand Sheik, who is an officer lawfully authorized to administer such an oath, and then such oath has to be recorded in the county. In the county. Everything has to be recorded in the county. When a member of this body politic and corporate takes the oath of amnesty and reconstruction, he becomes part and parcel of the said government and returns back to the family of nation, which is the Asiatic nations. The term said The term said denotes something declared or before mentioned, family, on your nationality cards. All our cards, on our nationality cards. Noble Drew Ali declared, you are a Muslim under the divine law of the Quran of Mecca, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Then he shown you that you are a citizen of the USA, coming out of a rebellious state. You have taken the said oath to be a citizen of the perpetual union again. Islam, Moors, talk to me. Talk to me, man. I mean, it don't matter if feelings get hurt. This is what it is, man. This ain't my words. This ain't my words. So how we operating? How we operating? You got to argue with me. How we operating? The term said government has been used in the Moorish divine constitution and bylaws a couple of times, particularly in Act 4, 6, and 7, and it denotes a government in a former time. To be part of the said government is to be an equivalent of, whether citizen, subject, or even property through citizenship or naturalization. The term parcel refers to a part or portion of land, a part of an estate. Parcel, as used with reference to land, generally means a contiguous quantity of land in the possession of an owner. The estate that we partly own will be explained later in this pamphlet that I'm reading, family. So do you understand what this means, Moors? To be part and parcel of the said government is to be a member of the perpetual union of the USA and an existing rebellion like the Confederacy. Are you following me, Moors? This is why members who take the oath of amnesty and reconstruction are congratulated and welcomed back to the family of nations, Moors. This is the true USA Republic form of government in the land of our ancestors here in the maximum America. The question in mind I ask you is, by taking the oath, covenant, and proclaiming your nationality as a Moorish American under Act 6, are we members of two states, the Perpetual Union and the Moorish Science Temple of America? That's the question. It makes you think about how deep Noble Drew Ali was and is. But the answer is yes and no, family, and I'm gonna expound on that. But now that we know that we are true citizens of the USA, another question on many hands are, how is a Moorish American duly a member of a sovereign body politic? Easy, Moors. There has to be conditions set for members intended by the founder for both agree upon if this is to successfully take its place. So thankfully, Moors, Act 6 of the Moorish Divine Constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America is the agreement between the members and the founder. Right, Moors? Is this not a pledge as well? The Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali expressed that to be a Moorish American member of the body politic, you have to proclaim it, teach our people their nationality, which is Moorish American, and divine creed, faith of Muhammad, to know that they are not Negroes, blacks, color, or Ethiopians, and proclaim a free national name, El or Bay. And in exchange, the person and effects will be redeemed by the Holy Prophet and an inhabitant of the north and southwestern shores of Africa. That's why I tell my Moors, study marine time and admiralty. Study that law. This is a beautiful position to be proud of. Moors, I'm thankful to be a Moorish American member of the body politic and corporate. You should too. And if you're not, I challenge you just to research it. Research it. When I say fee simple absolute, follow me. Is defined as an estate limited absolutely to a man and his hearers, and assigns forever without limitation and condition. An absolute or fee simple estate is one in which the owner is entitled to the whole property with unconditional power or disposition during one's life, and descending to his hearers and legal representatives upon one's death. Interstate, such estate is unlimited as to duration, disposition. For instance, when I tell Moors, living trust, you got to do a living trust. So you can do a will all you want to, but when you have a will with more than one person on there, it's going to get tied up in court. Living trust, it goes to one person, and that one person distributes what you want. I'm telling you, you got to take your stuff out of public and put it in private. This is law. Fee simple absolute, man or grantor of our estate would be noble Jew Ali. Holder in due course is defined a holder who takes an instrument for value in good faith and without notice that it is overdue or has been dishonored or of any defense against or claim to it on the part of any person. A pay may be a holder in due course. As Moorish American beneficiaries, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the holder in due course of any and all lawful instruments, real or personal estates, tenements, and any other thing of the Moorish Science Temple of America, because he is the owner of the whole or entire property once it is transferred to him. I mean, there's so much when we talk about land. I can go on and on, but I just want to touch some bases for us Moors. In the inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. You can find it in the religious Bible, Genesis 13 and 15. Old man Cush and his family is the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. That's in Genesis 10 and 6, Genesis 9 and 18, Genesis 10, 15 and 19. I'm saying the atmosphere because I'm making a point. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopian, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of a maximum, or that split line, the first and true divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the first father and son. You can find that in Genesis 2 and 13 and Genesis 15 and 18. The dominion of Cush, northeast, southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa. You can find that in Genesis 13 and 14. I mean, I can show you all this. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in the inhabited northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. You can find that in Genesis 45, verse 17 to 25. The dominion and inhabitants extended from northeast and southwest Africa, which is what Maxima, across Great Atlantis, even until the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake, which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. More so from reading the biblical scriptures that I just quoted earlier, and the divine instruction of the Holy Quran, our Circle 7, you can understand how both connect with each other. Verse 7 is described by metes and bounds of the said fee simple absolute, Moors. Now that we know we are the inheritors of all of the land prescribed or described, how do you receive it? That's another question. So, as I close, I'm going to touch on these last points. In the topic, first, we will go into what we call sheiks of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And according to paragraph 164 of the Herd Smith, there shall be 2 or more of its members as trustees, wardens, and vestments of such officers whose powers and duties are similar to those of trustees. Those are the sheiks. Shall be agreeable to the usage and customs, rules and regulations of such congregation, such church or society. Easily by reading these paragraphs, you can clearly get an idea on why there were 5 sheiks, officers, trustees, noticeable on the affidavit of organization. At that time, these sheiks were Noble Drew Ali, Mealy L, Maul Bey, Lovett Bey, and Foreman Bey. But note that these sheiks were and are government officials, as well as the sheiks now, Moors. Were these sheiks appointed or elected? According to the affidavit, these sheiks were appointed and not elected. Elected is in its official significance, with it as the idea of a vote. But persons of the Moorish Science Temple of America were not voted in, but appointed, Moors. So it is obvious on why the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali crossed out elect and put appointed. So let's look at the term appointed as I close. Appointed means to assign authority to a particular, use, task, position, or office. This is also why the prophet used the term appointed. Power and authority was given to those sheiks who were anointed, appointed, and consecrated missionaries of the prophet. Those who want power and authority will have to go to the holy prophet Noble Drew Ali for permission. All who gain power and authority from the prophet should stay humble, and they shall be rewarded. What types of entities were appointed Moors? The answer is persons. Persons. Notice that the term person on the affidavit of organization was in all caps, as most people would ridiculously express. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't see that with all caps? Dumb stuff. Sheiks are what is considered interested persons, which include hearers, divestors, children, spouses, creditors, beneficiaries, and any other having a property right in or claim against a trust estate or the estate of a defendant. Family, just use your logical mind. When you die and it's something attached to your family or to your name, it's attached to who you are. It's attached to your name. It's attached to your nationality. They're looking for you. So we talk about nationality and they ain't no mean nothing. B to the S. Ward or protected person which may be affected by the proceedings. It also includes persons having priority for appointment as personal representatives and other representing interested persons. The meeting as it relates to particular persons may vary from time to time and must be determined according to the particular purpose of and matter involved in any proceeding, Moors. We almost done. The act on behalf of a person. Listen to me. When I say who's the agent, when we set up corporations, you don't get this. That's why I said you got to get out of that Negro the color and get into business and law and understand this. To act on behalf of a person, you can carry out and enforce the functions of that person under the state of what? You were authorized by them to act as an agent. Are you following me? All of our lives, we work unknowingly under a fictitious person that was given to us by the states of the United States. This is just United Nations law. You can research this. You don't have to listen to nothing I say. This person is basically viewed as an image or mirror reflection that was constructively created and held under the construction trust. U.S. citizens are only third-party entities that receive certain privileges and benefits in exchange for protections afforded by the U.S. Constitution. But if protections results to stealing your birthrights and inheritance, then why would you love being a U.S. citizen? In other words, 14th Amendment citizens are beneficiaries of the construction trust of that state. A constructive trust is a trust that was constructed by an act of party, i.e. 14th and 15th Amendment. If you don't know the laws that hold you, then you won't even know that you were even held and is still being held, Moors. The secret is, or what was kept away from us, there is no secret. That's the secret. There is no secret. Nothing I'm talking about a secret. This stuff is old. The person is not you physically that they are holding, but a descriptive person you act on behalf of. So take the time to understand trust law. Take the time when I talk about living trust. I teach this stuff. When I tell you you should be operating as a business, you should understand establishing a nonprofit and establish that. It's so much that you don't know. This is the key to holding property and land with protections granted by the trustor. You can't be a trustee without a trust. You can't be a trustee without a trust. I just told you need to have a living trust. All your property is in public. You must put it in private as a living trust. But how can it be a trust and how can you have a living trust and you don't have nothing to trust? Can you? No, you can't. So what's the point of having sheiks in such a responsible position with no trust? In reality, a trust was created and with intent by the truster, the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I'm telling you, a trust was established by the truster, Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This trust is known as an 1928 Vast Estate Express Trust. Such a trust you would have to express throughout the instruments and deeds of the truster, who had the sole intent to create a trust, family. A trust is defined as a legal entity created by a grantor for the benefit of designated beneficiaries under the laws of the state and the valid trust instruments. The trustees hold a fiduciary responsibility to manage the trust, the assets, and income for the economic benefit of all the beneficiaries. That's what a living trust is, Moors. If you guess that the Moorish Science Temple of America holds an express trust, then you are on your square. This is the trust that we hold to prove that we are heirs, successors, trustees, and beneficiaries. Express trust is a direct trust. I mean, I can go on and on, Moors. I can go on and on. This is stuff you should know. There are deeds that establish the transfer of the vast estate by the grantor, Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the grantee. These deeds are the Holy Quran, Circle 7, Chapter 47, verses 1 through 7. This is the 1928 vast estate in Act 6 of the Moorish Divine Constitution and Bylaws, which is the deeds of conveyance in common law. Deed of conveyance, Moors, in common law. What makes these two deeds lawful? It has to be a sealed instrument containing a contract or covenant delivered to the party to be bound thereby and accepted by the party to whom the contract of covenant runs, Moors. A writing under a seal by which lands, tenements, and constructions are conveyed for an estate, not less than freehold. The instruments of a holy covenant of the Asiatic nation, and Act 7 of the Moorish Divine Constitution and Bylaws, which is the Divine Covenant, Moors. Now, once these documents are affixed with the corporate seal of the Moorish Science Temple of America, these transfers are shown lawful, but vary depending on the conditions of the trust, Moors. By our people receiving the vast estate through the deeds of conveyance, we become fee simple absolute freeholders, Moors. Freehold is defined as an estate for life, or in fee, a freeholder estate is a right of title to land. But you're not understanding what I'm saying. Noble Drew Ali retrieved the land back from the nations through the 6th International Pan-American Conference, held at the Havana, Cuba on February 20th, 1928. He registered the title of the vast estate in the Torrens title system of Cook County after he retrieved the land back from the nations through the 6th International Pan-American Conference, held at the Havana, Cuba on February 20th, 1928. He registered title of the vast estate in the Torrens title system of Cook County after he retrieved the land. What denotes the title of the vast estate is the fact that on the affidavit of the organization in the upper right-hand corner of the instrument is book number 521, page number 579. This particular book of a Torrens title system that registers only titles of fee simple absolute. The Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali could only register this title of the vast estate if he is the holder in due course of the estate. It makes you wonder, Moors, why the Prophet stated, I brought you your nationality, religion, and title to your vast estate. Think about this, Moors. This is our requirement to show that he did intend to deliver the vast estate to the Moorish American descendants. There are a few statements of the Prophet indicating that the Moorish Americans inhabited the maximum territories, which we can use affordable by divine and holy laws, Moors. For example, he stated the Moors were living up and down the Mississippi River before the European came here. What that means. So if he attests that we were inhabitants of this land, why would you not use the language, Moors? Think about it. Because if the European is an inhabitant of Europe, then that is the European's county of origin, right? Or country of origin. And in the law, which is the Holy Quran, Circle 7, chapter 47, verse 10, it states, and I quote, Moors, what your forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. Regardless who you are in the earth, you are who your forefathers were without a doubt or contradiction. So if a European state that he is white, something must be wrong because they are who their forefathers were as well. There is no escape from the nature of which you came. Verse 11, Moors, there is no one who is able to change man or woman from the descendant nature of his forefathers, unless his power extend beyond the great universal creator, Allah himself. Take a look at these questions and answers that I'm going to give below. That's divinely prepared by the Holy Prophet to our Moorish American children. This is in our 101 of our Quran questions for Moorish American children. What is our nationality? Moorish American. What is your nationality? Moorish American. Why are you Moorish American? Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. The point is, Moors, whoever my ancestors were, I am today, and whatever they own, I own according to specific laws of inheritance. Family, if your parents died and they were millionaires, they own multiple lands. It's connected to, that's your vast estate. I cannot change my descendants' nature and make it true. Truth does not change. Do not think it is unmanageable, Moors. Isn't that what the lower self desires from you? To think negative of yourself? To think you a Negro, colored, African American. Why? Because that's what somebody told you. So think positive, Moors. Think positive. When I say Ashe, think positive. You don't have no curse. The Holy Prophet Noble Ali stated, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Now take it to save yourself. When he stated this, he held up the affidavit of organization, our authority, and the 101 questionnaire for Moorish American children. You might think I'm out of my mind, but actually using my mind for you to comprehend the works of the Prophet, family. Remember, Noble Ali also stated that the third and fourth generation shall see the good of my works. That's in Genesis 15 and 16. Every generation is considered a time span of 20 years, Moors. The first 20 years is extended from 1928 to 1948, Moors. Second generation is extended from 1948 to 1968, Moors. Third generation is extended from 1968 to 1988, Moors. The fourth generation is extended from 1988 to 2008, Moors. This time span is reference to the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America who proclaimed their nationality and those who were born in those years. The works of the Prophet is everything on a physical and spiritual level to uplift fallen humanity. The mental slavery that he suffered for many years, and the physical aspect redeems us and pardons us from our sinful ways, Moors. This is why our Prophet said it will take 50 years to find out what I brought you. Since 50 years, from 1928, Moors, a Moorish American by the name of Frank Lewis L. Bay had discovered the existence of the trust in 1978. The trust that was discovered by this Moor is a irrevocable trust that can never be revoked during or after the life of the grantor. And I'll explain how to be a trustee, beneficiary, envoy, counsel, heir, successor, and creditor to the fee simple absolute vast estate. Express trust later on through the pamphlet. And I'm going to close with this last couple paragraphs. Redeemed by the holy. Redeemed by the holy state. Did you know the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution is not applicable to you and is also a deed of conveyance? If a Moorish American proclaimed U.S. citizenship under the 14th Amendment, he takes on a Christian title and a religious creed of Christianity. The state would be the claimant over the person. The title given by the claimant is simply the last name of the Christian slaveholder, like Smith, Jones, John, whatever. Does a Muslim who takes a Christian name as his own and gets anointed through a Christian baptism obtain citizenship as a Christian subject or citizen? That was the question. And the answer is yes. Exactly. Would that Muslim, Moslem, a person from a maximum, a person of Moorish descent, listen to me, would that Muslim who was converted a Christian fall in accordance with honoring his or her Muslim foremother and forefathers? Absolutely not. No. Because this are not the nature of our Moroccan ancestors, and it is contradiction with knowing thyself. And we are not honoring our forefathers. This is why it is very important to study thyself and amend thy ways, Moors. Be the Muslims that you are. For it is written that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree. So when we say that, it ain't, oh, I can study and do my own damn thing, how Moors misquoted. It says that every nation is a people, that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree and return to their own and be one with their father, God, Allah, Moors. As it states in the Holy Quran, Circle 7, chapter 48, verse 7. Therefore, we are returning to the church and Christianity, back to the European nations, as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation. Then verse 8 states, while we, the Moorish Americans, are returning back to Islam, I, self, law, and master. Allah, arm, leg, arm, head, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation, Moors. Remember the covenant of the great God Allah, verse 9. The covenant of the great God Allah is honor thy father, thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth land, which the Lord thy God Allah hath given thee. Come on, man. This is what this is about. Our ancestors honored their ancestors by carrying the noble titles of El and Bey as their family names, Moors. This was done to distinguish Moroccans from the other nations of the earth. But unfortunately, for Moors who want to use their titles of Ali, Al, and Day, you cannot connect back to the vast estate of our Moorish Science Temple of America using these titles. I'm sorry, you don't have to listen to me. Just do research. Just do further research. You don't have to listen to me. They are not declared free national names by the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. The only free national names available in this new era of time are El or Bey. You cannot partake in the Bey or the Bey Ali, El Bey, El Day, Day El Bey, El or Bey El or Day El, vice versa. Day Bey, vice versa. Ali Day, vice versa. Or anything other than a single El or Bey without the hyphen. It just won't work in conjunction with the conjunction of the express trust duly established by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and also in conjunction to the rules and laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Not me. You can put whatever you want on you. If you were born John Doe, then the next Bey to John Doe as John Doe Bey, or vice versa, with the free national name El. When you sign as John Doe El or Bey, whichever pertains to you. You see? You see? Also under the Trading with the Enemies Act, Title 50. It's a crime to change your name. We seek to save your mother's baby, not some made-up invention you have created. By changing your name, you abandon your birthrights. You also break divine law. Your mother gave you your name. The law of nature, as well as ancient law, stated that is your essence. You violate the invention of your mother and the patent rights to her body. Changing your name does not honor your forefathers. It just makes you look like you are stealing a person or changing your identity to hide something. Your mother's child, Moors. This is kidnapping and a violation of human rights. I'm talking about us as Moors. The European must pay for what has been done to you. You can trace the treachery in the birth records of your people by our names and also by our old census records. Honor your mother and your holy prophet and your ancestors. Use the name your mother gave you with your El or Bay. I can go on, man. Under the Moorish divine constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you have free national standards by proclaiming your nationality, status, classifications, religion, divine creed, and free national names. To be free is not to be subject to legal constraint of another, but in reality, we are subject to the sovereign power of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. If a Moorish American does not like being under the subject of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, don't complain. Just return your nationality card in. Give up your paperwork and let it go. So that's just part of that, man. I can't go all day, but I have them. Like I said, more should have this stuff. More should have it. You should have your divine creed of the Moorish Islam. You should have it. You should have it. But let's talk about the adapts. They should have the adapt manual. The teacher the adapt manual. The teacher your praise. The teacher your mantras. We got 10 minutes left, so I'll give a little bit more of this. It's pamphlets you got, more as I got them. But I say things cost. It cost me to bind them. I mean, if you're not willing to pay for me to ship them to you, it ain't important to you. It ain't important to you. I got them. If you want them, I will ship them to you. I got them in booklet form. You should have them. So I gave you your 5 a.m. prayer. I gave you the adapt prayer. I gave you the Moorish protection prayer. You say, Allah my protector. I gave you that. So I'm going to start right here, and we got 10 minutes, and I'll finish. And what I'm quoting coming from is our Moorish Adapt Study Guide, the House of Ali and Mysticism, the Egyptian Adapt Prophet and Angel. I'm on page 5 now. Step 1, Islam. You do your wudu and do one of your prayers first for whatever you're trying to do. An example, if you are trying to summon or command the station dealing with lightning in the morning, you will stand on the 10 and say, "Hear now, O everything that is, or was, or evermore will be, for wisdom speaks from out of the highest plane of spirit life." Step 2, Holy Allah, El, 3 times, and the angel which is a Barkel. Tell the angel what you want it to do, and then you say the map, Moorish American prayer. When I tell you about our map, it's the Moorish American prayer. And then what? And then you say, let me see where. Okay. And then you say the Moorish American prayer, because you are doing it in the morning. If you were doing it in the evening, you would use the evening prayer. Now you go do your breathing exercise with your legs crossed and hands on your knees and back straight, eyes closed, and breathe in and out 7 times, meditating and contemplating. Now you will Moorish chant, "Hear now, you lightning of the sky." You will have to be careful with this lightning hint, family. That's where the contemplating focus comes in at. You're going to Moorish chant until your will gets in tune with Allah's will and you see the lightning. That's what these things mean, man. When we say we adapt, it's things that Moorish should be able to conjure. It ain't just about thinking you finna get something. You should be able to make nature change. When we are adapt, we are in tune with the nature. The first physical man is one with heavenly hosts of angels and spiritual forces, which have only one mind and are called to do the perfect will of Allah. You can use this name also to shut down storms down, fires, bad dreams, evil jinns, and tornadoes. This what adapt should be able to do. Usage. If you have enemies, whether spiritual, mental, or physical, this name called upon by faith goes into embattlement for you against all unrighteousness, opposition. Be warned, Moors, you cannot use this name to work evil, for it is a righteous power, and the misuse of it can cause the reverse action to the user. When I say whatever you put in the universe, it comes back to you. You can direct the spirit with your third eye, your mind and your hand. Remember, the prophet said there's a power in the third eye, the mind and the hand, Moors. You're going to have your hands up on the 10, and you're going to fan 3 times saying Holy Isa and Holy Drew Ali, and you're going to put your hand on your hips and feet at a 45-degree angle and say Holy Isa or Holy Isa and Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali 3 times. And lastly, you will say a dap prayer. Get your magic carpet, your index and thumb as a pyramid, and put your third eye in the pyramid and tell Holy Isa or Drew Ali what your need is. After you get up, you can say Amen, only to be used in danger, Moors. These are things this is the DAP stuff. When we be taken lightly or misused, they are extremely powerful, and incorrectly used can cause mentally collapse. Angels and their duties from chapter 1 in the Moorish Holy Quran. And I'm going to leave you with this. Thinking things, hear ye now, ye cherubim, archer, protector, and angel, and guide. Hear ye now, ye seraphim, sacramental, protector, and guide. Hear he now, ye angels, Drew Ali, etc. Hear he now, men, spirit men, manifest. Hear me now, O protoplasm. Hear me now, O earth, Michael. Hear me now on planet, Sacplus. Hear me now on Tom Beast, Bithmiel, Hariel. Hear me now, O wild beast, Turiel, Mithniel, elemental aspect. Hear ye now, ye creeping things on the earth, Ariel. Hear ye now, ye fish that swim, Ariel. Hear ye now, birds that fly, Ariel, NPL. Powers. Hear ye now, ye winds that blow, Moriel. Hear ye now, ye thunders in the sky, Ramiel, Uriel. Hear ye now, ye lighted of the sky, Barkiel, the physical. Hear now, ye spirit of the fire, Ariel, Nathaniel. Hear ye now, ye spirit of water, Raphael. Hear now, ye spirit of earth, Ariel. Hear now, ye spirit of air, Michael. The ethers cause these powers to be, and thought of Elohim, of angel, man, or other thinking things. Direct the force, Moors. The time has come for Moors Muslims, for us to begin the process of personal attainment through the mantras and commands. Firstly, I will get you both physically and spiritually prepared to undertake such a task, Moors. Following, you will find 3 very important exercises. Simple and effective exercise, which will prepare you for the task of practically using mantras and commands for prosperity and spiritually fulfillment, Moors. The relaxation, you will learn how to meditate, or you will learn how to induce a relaxed state. You will need for this and all other exercises, giving here a peaceful private room, going to your choosing place, eat, etc., etc. But that's your meditation. You got to contemplate. These are all keys in our toolbox to make perfect man. Chapter 14 in our Moorish Quran. John the Harbinger fasted for 7 days. The meaning of that fast that John was doing is listening to that still small voice, Moors. Is he was letting the Son or the true and Allah speak through him. And we're going to end it right there. I love you all. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth. Get into the know. Shalom.